And same thing with Ishida is going to get just the 2 as marked on the turn track. Okay, and now we go ahead and we bid for initiative. Initiative doesn't not important here as far as the Ishida player is concerned. From my perspective, I wouldn't say it's an important thing. Tokugawa's got a tough call here. If you go ahead and bid a loyalty card, you might be revealing to your opponent that you're holding a loyalty card. So it might not be a good idea to reveal one here. So in this case, maybe just reveal this card here. And so Tokugawa wins on a 2-to-1 on the initiative. So we discard both of those. Okay, so we have discarded, we've drawn our recruitments, we've determined the initiative. Now Tokugawa won the initiative bid, but do they want to go first or do they want to go second? In this case, let's just say that they want to go first. There are times when you will want to go second. You have to really look carefully at the overall strategic picture before you make that call. So let's say they want to go first here. Let's have them play aggressive and discard a card. They're already up 1 on their opponent. So let's discard a card here. And that'll allow us 3 moves. And let's look at our recruitment pool because we're going to need to muster some blocks here because there's a big stack bearing down here on them. And we can recruit these flowery dudes there. So let's take one of our moves and muster these 2 blocks into that stack. Now it's 2 moves remaining. By the way, if you discard 2 of your cards, you can move all of your stacks and recruit as much as you want. But that is a very expensive thing to do, to discard 2 cards. 2 more stacks to move. Trying to decide which blocks to bring on. Let's go ahead and, actually we can throw that one in there too because it matches the Mon. Let's go ahead and get as much of our money's worth as possible. This is actually a bluff because we don't really have the cards to control these guys, but my opponent doesn't know that. So I'm actually going to stick a bunch in here since we can recruit 2 of them there. Leaving 2 blocks in there, we want to maneuver with one of these stacks. Let's go ahead and try a siege. And let's see if I can pull this off. 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I think we can. Let's go ahead and pull off a siege. What we're going to do is we're going to march this stack here 1 space into Aizu and try to take the castle by siege. Now, your opponent blocks in a castle location. You can choose to duck behind the walls of a castle and force your opponent into a siege. Now, in a siege, the attacker never takes losses. His only loss in the siege is the time it's going to take to undertake it. So, looking at the Ishida cards, he doesn't have the cards to control these 2 blocks. If I had 2 of these Usagi cards, I would probably try to fight a field battle here, but in this case I don't, so I'm going to duck behind the walls, and here we'll have our first siege. In a siege, only the attacker is going to play cards and deploy blocks. Here's how it works. First block I'm going to do is going to be my leader for 1 impact, and I'm doing that one because it doesn't cost me a card. Loyalty challenges are not useful in a siege. They're only useful in field battles, by the way. Alright, so we're going to reveal that block. Next, I'm going to reveal this card here, and that'll bring out this block. And that will give us 1, 2, 3 impact with a bonus of 1 because we've already played a block matching that same Mon. So now we're up to here, up to 5. And then lastly, I'm going to play this card. This is the last card I have in my hand that I can play to deploy a block. To deploy this one, that's going to give me 2 more for a total of 7. In a siege, the defender loses 1 block for every 7 impacts scored against him by the attacker. So the attacker basically just keeps playing cards to try to rack up as much impact as possible to end the siege quickly. In this case, he's only going to kill 1 of the 2 blocks, and it's up to the Ishida player which one they want to kill. Let's go ahead and take the Arquebus one and destroy that. So he's gone. The siege continues, which means Ishida still controls the castle. Now, at the end of a siege, the attacking player is going to be able to redraw a number of cards that were used in the battle. So he's going to get 2 cards back. These 2 are now discarded. And pleasantly enough, now they have one of these flowery made guys. So now they actually can control at least one of these blocks that they deployed. And lastly, then the defender in a battle situation draws 1 card for every block that they lost. Well, Ishida lost 1 block, so they're going to draw 1 card. So now that opens up some new options for the Ishida player. And then the play will then pass to the Ishida side. So does anyone have any questions about sieges? It's kind of interesting that in this game, sieges are actually simpler than field battles. They're real straightforward. The siege situation will be maintained here until either the Tokugawa player moves his blocks out of there or the last Ishida block is destroyed. Now, in the case of this location here at Ueda, it's a castle with a disc. The disc counts kind of as a block. It doesn't count as a block as far as drawing cards after the siege is over with, but you don't actually capture the castle until you kill that disc. So even if you've killed all the blocks there, you have to still kill the disc in order to capture that particular location. So yeah, we got a bunch of Mori in the Ishida player's hand, and because he's going second, it might be a good idea to buy some of these Mori guys out. Really what I'd like to do is capture a castle and try to even the odds up here a little bit. So I'm thinking maybe try to take on take one of these castles out. Let's see what cards I can control. I can get 4 or 5 out of that. That's not going to do it though. If I take this bunch here at Kuwana, I don't want to get trapped and open. See, if I leave this location, take this whole crowd down here, try to take out this castle, I leave the road open to the Tokugawa blocks. So I don't want to take the whole crowd there. So I'm going to pick out what blocks I would move to try to take out the castle. And I don't think I have enough impact to do it. I'd have to play 1, 2. Actually, I do have enough. If I took him, him, and him, and him, I would have enough to do it. So let's go ahead and actually just do a minimum move here because I want to be able to burn some of these cards to buy some reinforcements here. And what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to take this card, or this stack here,